Hi! Palworld recently announced their massive new update stating that raids are coming to Palworld. And for the first raid, we will be facing off against a brand new pal called Bellanoir. The raid is set to drop soon, so in this video I'll be going over several endgame activities you can do right now to prepare yourself and make sure that you can get into raiding as soon as it drops. If that's of interest to you, please make sure to hit the like button for the algorithm so more people can find the video, and also please make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're interested in more Palworld content. I'm just starting out on the whole YouTube thing, so every sub means a lot to me. Okay, let's get into the video. The first one is going to be about gearing up, and we're going to do this by farming the legendary schematics in the game. Legendary equipment is significantly better than their regular counterparts, so they're definitely worth farming. Here are a few of them so you can see the differences for yourself. There are 6 legendary weapons and 11 legendary armor blueprints, but you don't really have to farm every single one unless you want to collect all of them. Here are my recommendations. For weapons, you should go for either the legendary assault rifle or the rocket launcher. The assault rifle drops from Bellanoir over here, and the rocket launcher drops from the jet dragon over here. Go for the assault rifle if you hate having to craft ammo over and over. You can just purchase all the assault rifle ammo you will ever need from one of the 2 ammo merchants. One spawns at Dune Shelter, and the other spawns down at Fisherman's Point. If you're having financial troubles, check out my resource farming video where I go over how you can get all the gold you will ever need super easily. I'll leave a link to that video at the end of this one. If you don't mind crafting ammo, however, you should go for the rocket launcher. It hits like a truck, and the ragdoll from rockets is insanely overpowered. For armor, you're going to want the legendary palmetal helmet, and then the legendary heat and cold resistant palmetal armor. The helmet drops from Frostallion up here. The heat resistant armor drops from Necromus, and the cold resistant armor drops from Palladius, both of which spawn up here. If you're worried about farming any of these guys, don't worry, I got you. I'm going to go over various tips and tricks you can use to easily farm any of these schematics. Tip number 1 is make sure you have the standard palmetal gear, a hyper shield, and a rocket launcher. It won't really matter too much when you're facing Bellanoir, because he's just a cute little puppy that doesn't really want to hurt you, but the other 4 are full-on legendaries with big boy damage, and they're going to smack you straight to next Monday if you come unprepared. As for the rocket launcher, well, watch this. Yeah, so Ragdoll is really OP. Tip number 2 is starting these fights at night. The bosses will be asleep, so you can take a chunk of their health off before even starting the fight.
Now that's a lot of damage!
I'm using Frostallion to fight these guys because he just freezes enemies every 2 minutes. If you're having trouble fighting any of these guys, just shoot a rocket at them to ragdoll them and your pals will slowly chip away at their health. Also, if you like the Frostallion I'm using in this video, check out my video on how to breed a perfect Frostallion. This thing is insanely strong and you're definitely going to want one for yourself. I'll leave a link to the video at the end of this one. Now for the final tip. This last tip is going to save you so much time that you can come back later and thank me once you try it. Make sure to capture the bosses instead of killing them. You just need to catch one of each. Once you have them, you can just butcher the bosses over and over until they drop their schematic. This is how we do it. Start by running a little distance away from your pal box and letting the pal out. Then select Butcher from commands. Afterwards, mount the pal while it's being butchered. Then dismount, and finally wait for it to fall through the ground a bit, then recall it back into its spear. Make sure to wait for the pal to fall through the ground a little. If you recall too early, it will end up getting killed and you will have to go get another one. If done correctly, you'll get all their drops from butchering and the pal won't die. At this point, if you let the pal out again, it's just going to drop through the ground. So you'll have to head back to your pal box, put it in the box, and take it out to restart the process. Do this over and over until the schematic drops. For example, I had to butcher this poor Frostallion approximately 50 times for it to drop the legendary palmetal helmet schematic. This took approximately 15 minutes. Imagine how long it would take if I had to hunt 50 Frostallions instead. Alright, next one is going to be about breeding a super strong jet dragon. If we look at the update notes, Bellanoir is said to be an evil pal. That and its general color palette leads me to believe it's going to be a dark type pal. If that is the case, we're definitely going to want a dragon type pal for that sweet elemental type advantage. And jet dragon is easily the strongest dragon type pal in the game. So, our goal is to get a jet dragon with the skills Legend, Divine Dragon, Ferocious, and Musclehead. I'm going to go over 2 methods you can use to get a perfect jet dragon. First method is going to be easier and faster, where we don't really care about IVs. We only care about getting the right passives. As for the second method, we're going to try and get a Jet Dragon with perfect passives and perfect IVs. Alright, let's start. Start by capturing 2 Jet Dragons, one with Ferocious and another with Musclehead. I'm using a mod called Pal Analyzer, which lets me check a pal's passive skills before I capture them. If you're on PC, you can use the mod too, but if you're on console, you're going to have to take the long road and capture every single Jet Dragon until you get one with Ferocious and another with Musclehead. I'll leave links to all the mods used in this video down in the description below. Once you have your 2 Jet Dragons, breed them together until you have a Jet Dragon with 2 out of the 4 skills you're looking for. Then another with the remaining 2 skills, like so. Then you're just going to breed these 2 guys together until you get a Jet Dragon with all 4 skills, and voila, you're done. Okay, now for method 2. Start by capturing 2 Jet Dragons, one with Ferocious and another with Musclehead. Once you have both, you're going to breed them together until you get a Jet Dragon with 2 out of the 4 skills you're looking for, like so. And then another with the remaining 2 skills. Now, while you're breeding these guys, you should get some Jet Dragons here and there with perfect IVs in health, attack, and defense. Their passives don't really matter, so don't worry about those. If you are missing perfect IV pals, you're unfortunately going to have to keep on breeding until you get them. Okay, so once you have your pals with perfect passives and your IV pals, it's time for more breeding. Goal is to get a pal with 2 passives and 1 perfect IV stat, and another pal with the 2 remaining passives and IVs, like these guys. Once you have these guys, you're in the final stretch, but it's time for even more breeding. So, you're gonna take these 2 Jet Dragons and breed them together over and over until you finally get a perfect Jet Dragon. Be sure to replace parents if you end up breeding something with higher IVs than the ones you're currently using, like these guys. 2 parents with perfect IVs will have a much higher chance of breeding a Jet Dragon with perfect IVs. This step might take a while, don't lose hope, and eventually you'll get your very own Jet Dragon with perfect passives and perfect IVs. Once you have your Jet Dragon, the rest is easy. Now we just need to buff it up. Condense your Jet Dragon up to rank 4 to give it a 20% buff across the board. Head to any Statue of Power to give it another 30% buff in health, attack, and defense. And lastly, level it up to 50. This will put your attack stat over 2000 or somewhere close to that number depending on your IV. This is more than enough for almost everything you'll face in game, but if you want to take it even higher, you can feed your Jet Dragon an Icterdir Locomoco to give it another 20% attack buff stacked on top of everything else. Icterdir Locomocos are very easy to make. You most likely already have all the ingredients you need to make it, so you should have no problem getting as many as you need. So yeah guys, those are things you should do right now to prepare for the upcoming Bellanoir Raid. I'm gonna end the video with a clip of my Jet Dragon fighting Necromus, so you can decide for yourself if he's worth farming. Thank you for watching, hope I'll catch you all in the next one. Cheers!